Thank you so much, Dr. Anna Marie Frank, for coming on Wellness Your Way. I'm so excited to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. I've read your formal bio to the audience, but please just tell us a little bit about you.
Oh man, I'm a lot for a lot of people. And yeah, I really stay in the lane of mindset and holistic health. And just through my own journey and my life, it really brought me to this place right now. And I'm living my passion, having a brick and mortar. People come in every day. I see people one on one. I do speaking engagements. And, so it's like I'm either on a stage in front of a bunch of people or I'm like one on one with people. And yeah, that's really what I'm up to these days.
That's amazing. It's such a great balance to have that broad reach, but then also that really deep personal connection. I
I
love,
love that.
yes, the balance. So you touched a little bit on your own story. Are you willing to share a little bit about your own story and what got you here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, really, I mean, I can go all the way back to when I was in high school. I struggled with my mental health, and nobody would know this. If you were to look at me, I was a four-sport varsity athlete. I
Wow.
had good grades. I had married parents. I had a roof over my head. And it was something wasn't right inside of me. And I went on to university, played sports there, and I struggled so much with depression. And I kept thinking it was like the carrot, right? Like if once I achieve this, then I'll feel. Once I do this, then I'll feel. And once I graduated, went into my career, I still wasn't happy. I had the degree, I had all the accomplishments, all those things, and yet I was showing up in life every day feeling utterly depressed. And then I had this thing called health insurance. So I thought, well, I'll just go to a doctor and they'll fix me. They'll give me the right pills. And so I went to a psychiatrist, spent very little time with him. He wrote me 3 prescription medications, and I started taking them and started to go on a downward spiral. I got to the point where I didn't want to be alive anymore. I kept going back to this doctor thinking, oh, if they just change my medication, then I'll be better. And in a nutshell, ultimately, I had a little light inside of me that was like, wake up. You are the only person that can bring happiness to you. And so I set forth on this journey to really rewire my brain, and it took a lot of little different things done over time. And through that whole process of rewiring my brain and my biology and getting better at who I was becoming in this world, is where I started to study holistic medicine and naturopathy and energy medicine, Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine. And I was like, my mind was blown. And so, yeah, so then just along that journey, I've started to help other people heal themselves naturally. And that's in a nutshell how I got to where I'm at right now.
Oh, that's incredible. I hate it and love it that so many of us had to have had our own struggles in order to get here. But what a wonderful turn of events that you were able to take that and help so many people now and learn so much about it and uncover what was going on. You're, I think, a lifelong learner like me. Your list
Yeah.
of accolades is extremely impressive. So thank you for all the work that you do.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think for anyone listening out there too, it's like there's all these things we go through in life, and it's all on purpose. Like none of us are supposed to get through this life without the challenges and the trials and the tribulations. And my healing journey didn't just it wasn't like, oh, I just woke up and then I healed my brain and I healed myself. I wish it was that easy. But there were other things along the line, like postpartum depression I had after my son, being told my daughter had a high rate of having Down syndrome and being told you can abort her up to 20 weeks. And I was like, what? She's totally fine. She's 11. She's
Wow.
great. She's amazing.
Oh,
And, and then just other things I've been told, in the medical community that it just like all these things that are just like, wait, what? And I've always been very curious and asking questions ever since that original early 20s situation happened. And what I have found along the way is, one, Western medicine is amazing at saving people's lives. Like, yes, 100% killing it there. But when it comes to prevention, when it comes to good health maintenance, I think we definitely fail. We get an F on that. So there's other ways. And so it's just interesting as I started to really dive into all of these other ways of healing. I'm like, why? I felt like it was a secret.
Yes.
Like,
And why
why?
is it a secret?
I
Why
know.
is it hidden? I could not agree more. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. So anyways, but all of these things happen to us on purpose, and it's how we choose
Yeah.
to respond or react to it, and our mindset is everything. And I think that that's important.
Well, let's dive in there because you started by saying I had this voice that said, wake up. And now you're
Mhm.
saying our mindset is kind of the root of healing. I know you're not just saying, well, all of a sudden, one day, poof, you think one thought and then you're miraculously better for the rest of your life. But I do know that you have great thoughts on the brain biology connection and how our thoughts shape our health. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So what's very interesting is, well, number one, our brain is the strongest pharmacy on planet Earth. So we need to remember that. Also, we can change how we feel in 150 milliseconds by shifting a thought. And every single thought and every single word that we speak, every thought that we have carries a vibrational frequency and will influence your biochemical makeup. So, for example, if you said the word love and you checked into your body, like just love, kind of
Yes.
sit in your body, it just feels like you just say it and just feel it. And then that, if you go and you say the word hate and you check in with your body, it feels very different.
Yes.
So, when it comes to healing ourselves and feeling better, we have to really look at how we speak about our life and how we think about our life. And that is everything. And we all have this voice inside our head. I wrote a whole book on it. I call it the inner bully. But this voice inside our head that tells us all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm not good enough. That's not available to me. Everyone else is doing good. Why am I such a failure? And the truth of the matter is this is not truly who you are. And as Michael Singer, an author I really love, says, you are the one that is witnessing that voice,
Mm.
which is like, whoa, that is like mind blowing. So you are literally the one that is witnessing the voice, the soul that is witnessing the voice inside your mind. And that voice is like a child. The more attention you give it, the more it will act out.
Yes.
So it's really just shifting like that voice. I just threw this huge women's event. It was the first one we've done here in Bakersfield, California. We were sold out. I mean, this was like something I'd been dreaming up for quite some time. And that inner voice, a few days before, came in my head and was saying, oh, what if nobody shows up? And, all these things. And it's like, is that really going to happen? No, right? We sold out our tickets. People are going to show up, and it's like you have to go back and shift your mind by asking open-ended questions to take you out of that. We go in this state in our brain, which is more of an emotional response, and your limbic response, your reptilian brain that is, you know, not helping you think clearly. And when you're in that part of the brain, you actually are cut off from your prefrontal cortex, which is your executive function thinking. Well, of course, people are going to show up. People paid for tickets. Everything's going to be fine. Could things go wrong? Yes. But why would I stress about it right now? So people allow stress and of the future to worry them, and they allow the emotions of their past to influence their future. So we are like these emotional roller coasters, and we have to get a hold of it with how we are viewing our thoughts and how we are speaking in our life. So I know that's a mouthful, but
It
it's
was an excellent mouthful. I am soaking it all in as I know the audience is. So, when we're in this limbic state, this emotional state, we're cut off from the prefrontal cortex. Are you saying the answer is to ask yourself these open ended questions and kind of tap into the rational side? Like you said, no, all the tickets are sold, people will show up. Just get back to that prefrontal cortex, that rational state by asking yourself questions. Is that the key?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge key. Breathing is a big part of it. Just kind of going back and grounding yourself. Because if we let our thoughts just keep running amok and we don't check them when they need to be checked, we'll start believing our own thoughts, right? We know this to be true. If you tell yourself something long enough, it actually will pave a neural pathway that you begin to think that that story is true. Like my grandmother, she tells everyone I am a New York Times best-selling author. I mean, she knows this to be true. Okay.
Oh,
So bless her heart. And you know what? I will be that for her.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
but she's said these things about me, and my mom laughs about it, but she's said so many things about me that have been eh, blown up, blown up, blown up. We all know this, right? This is what's great about grandparents. They make everything
Yes.
seem so much better and grand, but they believe it. Oh, after a certain period of time, they start to believe that, well, that's true, you know? And so
Yes.
so you have to be mindful because if you tell yourself something, "Oh, my boss doesn't like me. My boss doesn't like me. My boss doesn't like me." Well, guess what? Yeah, your boss doesn't like you because you've told yourself that, and what we focus on, that's where our energy is gonna go.
That's right. And in that case, then you're assuming my boss doesn't like me. So you probably like avert eye contact every time the boss walks by.
Mhm.
You probably don't do great work because you already think the boss hates you. And you're actually creating the actions as well that will lead
Yes.
to the boss truly not liking you in that case.
Yep, and your brain is only going to look for things that confirm what you think.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other tricky thing about our minds.
Yes.
Our brain, it's like when you get a new car and you think you're the only person that has
Yeah.
that car, and then you're driving down the road in your new car, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I see this car, like, everywhere."
Yes.
Right? It's what your mind focuses on, it will always be available to you. So if you're
Yes.
always focused on what's not going good in the world, you're gonna find enough things that are not going right in the world, and if you focus on what is going good in the world, you're gonna see so many beautiful things in your life, and we get to
That's
choose that.
Yes, that
Mhm.
perfectly leads into my next question, which is I saw a blog post, which will link in the show notes, a blog post that you wrote about choosing happiness. And it
Mhm.
really resonated with me because I think somewhere deep in my genetics is this warrior. I was a very strong warrior as a child. I'm heterozygous on COMT, which I think of as the worrier, but we're not talking about that right now. It's always been kind of my tendency. So, what
Mhm.
I have done is set up a lot of systems in my morning. For example, the alarm goes off, I automatically think, oh, I don't want to. And before I put my feet on the ground, I choose a positive thought. And then I literally walk over to brush my teeth, and there's a positive quote calendar that I flip over. I take my dogs out and I put on this positive playlist. So I'm like priming my brain very intentionally. Then I do my gratitude, my meditation, all of this. And for me, I believe it absolutely works that throughout the rest of the day, I genuinely feel happy. It's not an act. It's just that I've had to put that effort in to choose the way I want to feel. I'd love
Mhm.
for you to comment about that and any thoughts you have there.
Yeah, I think the most powerful thing you said is, like, you're choosing this. So,
Yes.
for example, I choose to go pick my children up after school
Yes.
versus saying, "I have to go pick my
Uh
children up
huh.
after school." Just by saying flipping that word, choose versus have to, it feels different in the body, and
Yeah.
it allows you to feel like you have more control because at the root of all of us, we want control,
Yes.
which do we really even have control? Who knows, right?
Who knows
We
is right. Yeah, but that illusion, as long as we're going to be under some illusion, why not be under the illusion that we can control to choose our happiness, which feels like
exactly.
reality to me. So I'll take
Yes.
it.
Yes. And then the thing is you're choosing things that fill your cup. You're choosing to do things that add energy, that bring value to who you are.
Hmm.
And that is where the power lies. Most people, we're telling people love yourself, be happy, all these things, but they're not filling themselves with lovable things. They're not filling themselves with things that make them happy, truly happy. And we have like these crossings of we think this will make us happy, And really, it's something that down the road doesn't make us happy. So
Yes.
then if we go even deeper, we say, well, why are we deciding already if this is going to make us happy or not make us happy? And why are we already deciding if we're going to like or not like something? And the only reason we already pre-decide that before it has already happened is because we're basing that like or dislike based on our past.
Yeah.
So my challenge to people is, what if you allowed yourself to feel the very thing that you think you will feel when you achieve XYZ,
Yes.
right? Like allow yourself to feel the feeling even though you haven't achieved X, Y, and Z. Choose that state of happiness right now.
Yes.
And I think that's the ultimate hack. If we, stick to that, it's pretty powerful.
It's super powerful. So I feel like I know what you're saying, but give the audience an example. It's like, oh, I will feel happy when I lose 20 pounds, or I will feel happy when I get this job. Take us through whatever example you want and tell us how you would feel that feeling right now.
Yeah, well, one that I'll was that event that I just did. So this is
Yes.
so I was my co-host that was hosting the event with me when I would get stressed and worry and all of that. She's like, "Okay, Anna Marie, close your eyes." And then she's like, "What is it that you want?" And then I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I would put myself in that future space and I literally would start crying because I
Oh,
was so happy and so joyful. I could see the women in the audience smile. I could see us all interacting. And then that joy, once I sat and allowed myself to feel all the very things that I thought I would feel when, but I
yes.
felt it now. Once you have that emotion and you've connected it with a visualization, you can drop into that moment at any time. Anytime. You just have to create the emotion with the visualization, and that stores within you, which is the most amazing thing in the world. Like anytime I think about one of the very first times I did breath work, I had the most amazing experience, and I can always drop into that feeling,
Mm.
and once I drop into that feeling, it's like I probably could win an Oscar for crying at this point in my life, which is so crazy because I'm not a crier, but I can cry like that if I go into that feeling and that visualization of what I had in that moment of breath work. So
Wow.
we get to create that whenever we want. Again, our brain is the strongest pharmacy on planet Earth. You gotta know how to work that brain.
That is so cool. I love your quote. The brain is the strongest pharmacy on planet Earth. I will use that over and over with the TM, Anna Marie,
Yeah.
every single time.
Actually,
Uh,
I'll have to give credit to Dr. Daniel Amen, who I've had training from the Amen clinics because he says that a lot, and it's just so true. It's so true, and we all need to be reminded about that.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that reminder.
Mhm.
Let's talk about why we all need to be reminded about that, because I think in general, we all have brains that are not at optimal health right now. So I'm wondering
Mhm.
if you have thoughts on why we're in this state and what are maybe some hindrances to having a healthy brain that are common these days.
Well, I think our environment is everything, and what we're putting into our bodies. Food is information. I always say the body is like a smartphone, and
Yeah.
you get to choose what apps you're downloading. You get to choose what you're downloading into your app. So, for example, your sense of taste is an app. What are you putting in your mouth? Your sense of smell, your sense of touch, your sense of sight. What are you choosing to see every day? Again, everything is downloading information into the body that is impacting all of your cells. And all of this directly impacts the brain. The brain is only 2% of your body, yet it utilizes up to 20 to 25% of all the oxygen, nutrients, everything that you put in. So your brain is like literally this energy sucker. So we have to be very mindful about what we're putting in our body through every single sense in our body or in, that our body has. The other element I think is our culture, this fear-based culture
Yeah.
that is there's not enough for all of us. and there's plenty for all of us. There's an abundance of everything. And again, that's a state of mind, it's a state of being.
Yes.
But yet, when we feel like there's not enough, we go to that worry brain. And the thing is when we are in that limbic state and we are in that heightened sympathetic nervous system response, which is fight or flight, when we're there for a long period of time, it actually starts to shrink the hippocampus and it starts to impact our memory,
Wow.
which is going to impact our brain health over time. And so when we're in the sympathetic nervous system response, our heart we can have heart palpitations, our blood pressure can go up, our cortisol can go up, our hormones start to shift because cortisol is a hormone. I mean, like there's like this domino effect. So it's getting yourself to a peaceful state where you're going to actually protect your brain and help your brain health. But I do think like COVID was a perfect example of fear, and people were acting a fool. I mean,
Yeah.
people were literally going to Target and buying all the toilet paper they could buy.
Yes.
Like, really? Why
Hmm.
were we not buying all the blueberries? Why were we not buying all the fruits and the vegetables? Like, this is crazy town. Like, what are we doing here? Like, if you really think about it, when we go in that fear state, we are no longer using our prefrontal cortex. Our executive function thinking is not happening. This is going to impact our memory, impact our decision making. And so we're thinking about wiping our butt versus, what we're going to put in our mouth to keep our body healthy to protect us from whatever big green aliens out there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just kind of like, it's just interesting, but we're interesting beings and we're complex beings. And, the other thing is, I don't think there's one right or wrong way to be. I think it's just all information and we get to choose what to do with it. And I think that
Yes.
that's important. And most people just don't know.
Yes. Really great point. First of all, taking back to COVID, I have never been so um, impressed by the variety of produce that was available in my local grocery store because no one else was buying it. So I had access to anything that I wanted. And then you see like the chip aisle completely wiped out or something
I
like that.
know.
So I remember it very clearly.
Uh-huh.
And I think your point is so valid that of course, if we're stressed one time, like our brain is fine, no problem. But
Yeah.
if we're constantly living in this state and we're letting our fear escalate because of the news and the world situation and our constant connectiveness and all of this kind of stuff, it really it's putting us in a precarious position. So I'm glad you're out there helping people.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, thank you. And I think another element to that too is how we can get out of fear as well in like environmental is to ask questions,
Mm,
right? So we talked about asking questions when our brain's telling us all sorts of crazy stuff and you ask yourself a question, but also ask a question if somebody's telling you something that's not making you feel good inside, like don't go out of your house, wear 2 masks and do like all of this. Say, help me understand.
yeah.
Like, ask questions, like, help me understand why. I mean, I've had to do this so many times with the different situations I've been in, with different doctors and things like that with my health, with my kids' health. And I never used to ask those questions,
Yeah.
right? And so we can get given information that hits us inside and we're like, "Oh my gosh." But to get us out of that, "Oh my gosh," fight or flight state, we go into asking a question to help better understand. When we can better understand things, it helps to actually lower our stress. It's
Yes.
the not knowing, the not understanding where it runs rapid and it becomes this big old thing.
Yes, absolutely. Great points there. So, questions are one piece of the solution. Let's talk about a couple of the other pieces of the solution. I want to talk about nutrition and your supplements and your wellness center, all of this stuff. But let's start with nutrition since it's my favorite.
Yes.
What are just some general nutrition practices that you would recommend for someone looking to improve their brain health?
So I think just one, eat real food. I think we've made nutrition so confusing and health so
Yes.
confusing. One, there's no perfect diet for any human. We've never
Yes.
proven a perfect diet. So that doesn't exist.
Agreed.
Every human is different, especially based on like anthropology. If you go to like where your ancestors came from, which I know we're all kind of a mixed mutt now,
Yeah.
but for some, the taller your body, the longer your limbs, the darker your skin, probably closer to the equator your body came from. And that means you're probably eating more pineapples, more light fruits and veggies, lean meats, things like that. Now, the shorter your body, the more shorter your limbs, the lighter your skin, you probably came more north, and fatty fish are really like going to sit well with you, and the hardiness of omegas. And so there's a lot to be said around food, but at the end of the day, fruits, vegetables, meats, and anything that is not packaged and was treated with respect. So if it's a cow, we want that cow to be out, free range, eating grass. And if you have a really good farmer around you like I do, they will be carrot finished beef, and you'll have
Wow.
increase in B12s, like, so you don't want, to eat chicken that was in this cage with a million other chickens with bacteria and diseases going all around, because it's just the nutrition profile, one, isn't great. And then also, I believe in energetics. So the energetics is going to be transferred to your body. And I think that that is definitely not good, to eat food that doesn't have a good source behind it. So eating real food is really the key. I love blueberries, are so neuroprotective, really great. If you don't have a sensitivity to nuts, walnuts can be really, really good for you as well. They have a lot of trace minerals in them. Celtic salt, Himalayan salt, not using table salt. People don't realize that table salt is really, there's no minerals in it. And when you go to the more Celtic salt, the Himalayan salt, you're going to have a more broader profile, 72, 82 different trace minerals that the body really needs. So I think with the food, we need to quit making it so complicated, and always know that when you're putting food in your body, that your mindset around it is that this is nourishing me and this is feeding my cells. Because having a bad mindset around food will also disrupt your body's ability to break down the food, utilize the food, and the whole digestion process.
Really great point there. And one that so many people miss because they think, oh, well, I just look at the label and it has 20 grams of protein or something like that, which is great and important. But if it's not the right quality and you're not thinking about how it's nourishing your body and you're in that sympathetic fight or flight state, it doesn't really matter because you're not really absorbing and utilizing all the
Right.
benefits from that food.
Yeah. And this is where, like, Megan, people need to work with people like you, because this is what you do. And people are not educated. Like I said earlier, once you're educated, you know. And the problem is in our school systems, we're still telling children, that they need to have all these carbohydrates, and 51% of, the hot lunch is wheat,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's not GMO free. And our
yeah.
wheat is sprayed with folic acid, and 44% of people have a methylation gene and they cannot process folic acid. They
Yes.
need folate.
Yes.
So, it's we have to go out and be an advocate for our own health. And what that may look like is spending money that your insurance is not going to cover.
Yeah.
It may be you need, 6 sessions with Megan to gain that knowledge that you'll have for the rest of your life, and then you can pass that on. And I think that is truly what I'm passionate about, is educating, because it's like Native American practices, Northern European practices, Chinese medicine. This stuff is not being passed down.
Yeah.
I've had to like literally go and scrape and learn and find the books, find all this education. And I'm like, wait a minute, you want to tell me that 120 years ago, we used to have some of this stuff in our universities? You want to tell me 120 years ago that our universities, which used to be called colleges back then, used to train our doctors differently? Like, wow, I
Hmm.
did not know this, right? So again, asking questions, like some things don't make sense. It doesn't make sense that to get electrolytes that your body needs to cause muscles to contract, to allow the body to absorb fluids, you get it from Gatorade or Powerade. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Like, to me, I'm like, wait, and it's blue.
Yeah.
Okay. How is this healthy? It's not. People don't realize that you can eat an apple, that
Yes.
you can have watermelon, that you can have spinach, that you can have some salt, and these things are actually electrolytes going into the body.
Yes.
So I just I think people just we got to do a better job of seeking the information and working with people that know something that we don't know and asking a lot of questions because it's fun to
Yes.
learn.
It is so fun to learn. And the awesome thing about nutrition, in my opinion, is that it's a relatively new science. So we're still continuously learning new things all the time. And there's always new research coming out, which I find really
Mhm.
fascinating. And then to your point, which is so scary that some of this stuff we think is new, it was in the textbooks 100 years ago and has just been covered up. So that's just frustrating.
Yeah. It really is. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously the earth provides everything that we need, like
Yes.
period.
Such a good point. And I think jumping off from that point, one thing that people have been doing forever is cold exposure, heat
Mhm.
exposure. Maybe they didn't have the fancy cryotherapy chambers 200 years ago, but you're offering a very simple way for people to get those benefits that have been time tested for so long. So I'd love
Mhm.
to dive into some of the cool practices that you have at your wellness center in Bakersfield, California. Three things. First of all, I went to your website. I highly encourage everyone to go to the website. We'll link it in the show notes. But there is this incredible menu of services that if I lived in Bakersfield, I would be your number one client. I would be there every single day. It's so cool. But three that I picked out, cryotherapy, sauna, and red light therapy. I'd love for you to comment on whichever of those is your favorite or all of them or anything you want to share about this.
I mean, they're all great. And, 200 years ago, the reason that people survived, some didn't, but the ones that did, survival of the fittest, their bodies, every time they went from extreme heat to extreme cold, their body had to acclimate,
Yeah.
and it actually strengthened their cellular function, which is cool. So,
Yes.
um, the hormesis aspect of that is, we have a sauna and we have cryotherapy. We also have a cold plunge so people can choose your poison, I guess, right?
Ooh.
Micro poison, which sometimes is not a bad thing.
Yes.
Um, but so like cryotherapy, for example, you go in, your body experiences extreme coldness for a very controlled period of time, and your body will start to get goosebumps. You'll start to shiver. This is all a good thing. And then what happens is you step out and your body's like, wow, I just survived. So you have all this rush of feel good hormones going on, inflammation drops in the body. You get, this helps you sleep better, which is really good. And so, yeah, cryotherapy is really great to help lower stress, increase energy. You'll sleep better, and yeah, you have like kind of like I don't know, it's this is little thing for the rest of the day whenever I do it. I just feel like a little pep in my step, I guess, if you will.
I totally agree with that. I love cryotherapy. And I'm curious your take because I don't like cold plunges, but I think that's because I've, quote, gotten good at cryotherapy. Like I
Then you need to
do.
go to cold plunge.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't
I
want to
knew
get good
that's
at
what
any
you
of
were
it.
going to say. I don't want to hear it though, but I really do.
I know. I
It's
think it
just,
was
go
oh
ahead.
god. I was gonna say, I think it was um the Huberman podcast. I think he was saying, yeah, like once you're start to be okay with it, you're not getting the benefits.
Yeah.
So you got to change it up. So I think you need to go to cold plunge. But I feel like cold plunge, even though it's not as quote unquote cold as cryotherapy, the wetness, I mean, it is, I feel like it's way more intense.
For
Definitely. And
me, that is
go
true.
down, let it get to your neck,
Oh,
um, because the water has to go up over the shoulders and over
yes.
the neck because that is ultimate. A lot of people, I'll see them out there and they'll have their shoulders kinda up out of the water, and I'm like, "Lower down," and they're like, it's like that last little bit takes so much courage to
Yes.
go down.
Yes.
But yeah, so cold exposure therapy is great. We use a full spectrum of infrared heat with our sauna, and we actually have a lymphatic release shake board that you stand on before you get in the sauna with a
Wow.
little red light boost. So that helps to activate the lymphatic system, which is one of your main detoxification pathways. And people don't realize for your lymph system, it's through vibration and movement that the lymph system is going to release toxins, which is, I always thought that was really interesting. Um, and then when you go in the sauna, another main detoxification pathway is sweating. So that's taking care of two detoxification pathways. And the sauna is going to help heat the body, increase blood flow to the brain. A full spectrum infrared sauna is going to help pull out more of the heavy metals. The sweat, there was a study done where they test the sweat of a full spectrum infrared sauna, and they test this, it's like serum, which is the sweat that comes out, versus just a sauna that heats the air up around you. It's more of, just your salt crystals, and the sweat is different compositions, which I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." Not that one is better than the other. We actually have both types of saunas here. It's personal preference. The infrared sauna doesn't really get as hot as our outdoor steam sauna. Our indoor sauna is a dry sauna. Infrared heat, the body actually will start absorbing the infrared heat over time. So the sauna is
Mm.
trying to get hotter, your body's absorbing the heat. So they just work in different capacities. I say if you have access to a sauna, do it. Don't not do it. Don't try to study for the best sauna and you're not doing it until you find the best sauna, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah, analysis equals paralysis. But yeah, I love the sauna because of the blood flow aspect, the detoxification aspect of it, is really great. And then the red light I love because, well, I like red light because about 10 minutes has been shown to increase serotonin in the body, which is your mood stabilizing hormone. But a lot of people love it because it helps with the skin, fine lines, wrinkles, discoloration. But it also helps increase mitochondria function, which is like the little battery in all of our cells. You have trillions of these cells, and as we age, that battery kind of starts to go down. So we need to recharge that as well. And so, yeah, those are three great ones you picked out.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited to sign up for my next session. But I would be remiss if I did not ask you for your another one of your lines of work, which is supplements. This
Mm.
one is available to anyone, don't have to live in Bakersfield. So I'd love for you just to take us through maybe one or two of your favorite supplements from your line to whet people's appetite, and then they can go to your website to learn more.
Yeah, well, I originally formulated three brain nutraceuticals because I was meeting with clients and scanning them, testing them, seeing what they're deficient in, seeing what type of brain they had, and what nutraceuticals would be best for them. Well, I was sending them to the store to buy 5 or 6 different products to equal. I'm like, why has not anyone put this in one product?
Yes.
For example, our Calm You, which is one of our top selling products, it has all, like, everything that's in the Calm You, everything in it is an active ingredient. And I formulated it because, again, I was sending people to get 6 different products at the store to get what this Calm You does, and it just kinda helps calm that limbic system, help calms the mind, but it doesn't make you sleepy. So we have people that get Calm You, they play with the dosage of what they take. It's not something you have to take always and forever. That's the other thing I believe with supplementation. Many supplements, it's just for essentially fill your cup. Once we get your cup full of the raw materials that you need, then it's just a little microdose here and there. You don't have to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. So the Calm You really helps take that layer of yuck off of you. I guarantee you within 7 to 10 days, if not sooner, you will have a sense of just inner peace. Like you'll be dealing with situations that are stressful and you'll be like, "Oh, I totally dealt with that a little bit better." Like this is what men and women say all the time. It's like it takes that layer of yuck off the top and you function as you should. But most people don't realize how anxious they are. So Calm You is just a beautiful blend. Um, and then we have our Happy You, which helps with serotonin production, and our Bright You, which is neuroprotective. It has all the anti-inflammatory properties. It's actually the first one I formulated because I had 6 different products on my counter and I was looking at them and I'm like, "Oh, I could do this one for sure." And then I started to like just really be present with my clients and what I was sending them to the store to get. So that's why I ended up with the first 3 flagship products, Calm You, Happy You, and Bright You, to really help people. And then I think the other product that people just go nuts over is our liquid Whole You. It is bioavailable, pre-methylated fatty acids, amino acids, minerals. Um, it has like literally like it's like taking 20, 25 pills at the same time, but it's a liquid shot that you take every day.
Wow.
And I absolutely love it because I was taking a lot of pills every single day,
Yeah.
and that really helped cut that down big time. So, my remedy that I personally take is I just do the whole U shot every day, and then I take Bright U every day. And I will admit, when we put on our big event, I was taking Calm U every once in a while. 'Cause I was like,
Yes.
"Oh gosh." And then I have to remind myself, "This is excitement, this is excitement."
Yes,
So yeah,
exactly.
and then, I've gone through periods where I take the Happy You as well. So it's just again, it's not something always and forever, I just play with my dosage and all that, but yeah, it's, our product some of our products most of our products are a 2-month supply, so we limit the, footprint, the plastics, all of that, so it's very intentional how I created our products, and they just work. So, that's what I have to say about that.
That's amazing. I'm just imagining the audience and myself too. I need all 4 of those. Just thinking, "Oh, thank goodness someone has put all of these together," because first of all, there's a whole lot of stuff out there in the
There
supplement
is.
world, and second of
Mhm.
all, even if you're doing your research to get good quality supplements, for me, I have 0 problem taking, like, a jillion capsules per day, but most people are not like
Yeah,
that. It's very
yeah.
frustrating, so then they have to choose amongst all the good ones, and you've just put them all together. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, you do make more money when you sell 5 different things. I'll admit that, but it's like it's just the right thing to do,
Yes.
honestly. And then all of our products, when we get the raw materials in, they're tested for being pure before they even leave. After mixing and doing all that, they're tested again to make sure what's being said that's in the capsule is in the capsule or that's in the liquid is in the liquid. And so it's just the right thing to do. We're a small little company, and I think that, you know, it's just we need more small businesses and people that care to produce products like this. It's not easy, and it's not cheap to do it, but there are options out there. And yeah, like our whole you, I think it's like $55 for a 32-day supply. It is, you know, it's
Yeah,
very worth it.
yes, there are so many far, far, far more expensive supplements out there than that.
Yeah. And I always tell people too, just because your product's expensive doesn't mean that it's, you know, doing something absolutely great. And there's some products that are expensive and they're doing great things.
Yeah,
But I think for the most part, people just don't know what they're taking.
yeah,
Um, and if they're taking bees that are not methylated, they're doing themselves a disservice. So you just really got to know what you're putting in your body.
yeah. It's true. I agree with you that just because it's expensive doesn't mean that it's great. On the flip side, it is unfortunate that there is a multivitamin out there at whatever drugstore that's $8 for a 6-month supply. And the very first thing that I ask people to look at is, okay, what form of B vitamins are they using?
I
If it's
know.
not methylated, then we know already,
Yeah,
I know already it's probably not the best
yeah.
quality product. So I love that
Uh-huh.
you're calling that out. I'm not saying everyone has to spend a jillion dollars all the time, but if it's too cheap to be true, it might be worth looking
Yeah.
into.
I actually had, a lady that came in. She's had 3 children, and she had them when she was young, and she's been trying to get pregnant again, and whenever I have clients come in to meet with me, whether it's in person or remote, I always have them send me everything they're taking. And I don't want to see the picture of the front of the bottle. I want to see the ingredients in it.
Yeah.
And so she was in person and I scanned her, did a bunch of stuff, realized that she has an issue with methylation. And those of you out there that are like, what is methylation? Pretty much if you take a vitamin or you put something in your body converts it to make it bioavailable so you can utilize the raw materials. And if your body is not doing that, you can have something called homeocysteine that builds up in the blood, just causing all sorts of issues. You don't have the raw materials that you need for your body to do basic, maintenance inside. And this over time can cause different ailments going on. So, anyways, she comes in and she's being challenged with getting pregnant. She's like, well, I know I'm older, but all my hormones are testing right. And I'm looking at what she has. She's taking folic acid on its own
Mm.
with a multivitamin that is all synthetic, that
Oof.
is not methylated at all. So
Oof.
she is literally twice a day microdosing, poisoning herself, and
Wow.
wondering why she's not getting pregnant. I have no doubt in my mind this woman is going to get pregnant.
Ugh.
And so, it's just okay, I think she got it, like, I don't know, I call out Costco. I love Costco. Costco has great options, but
Yes.
I think it was from Costco.
Yeah.
But, it's like, okay, you're gonna spend 15 bucks or you could spend 50 bucks and nourish your body because you're
Yeah.
gonna have more problems in the long haul putting that junk in there. So,
Yeah.
it's again, it's education, right? People don't know. I mean, she thought she was doing the right thing. This is what her doctor told her to do.
That's
She's following
right.
directions.
That's what's so sad is that she was probably told take folic acid by
Yeah,
maybe a
so many
well-meaning
women are.
person too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just don't know the whole story. So I'm so
No.
grateful once again that you're putting out that whole story and you're really making your information accessible to the public and your options like your supplement. So I would love for you to tell people all of the ways that they can learn from you, work with you, benefit from everything that you're putting out there.
Yeah, thank you. So you can go to www.happywholeyou.com, and that's our website. So you can see the supplements that we offer. And then if you are anywhere close, we get people that travel to Bakersfield all the time to come to Happy Whole You. It's a pretty cool experience. We'd love to see you here. Or we're also on Instagram at Happy Whole You. And yeah, just reach out and we'd love to work with you. We work with people in person and we work with people remotely as well.
Amazing. We will absolutely link that website in the show notes. And please, like I did, audience, please go there and just look around. You will be amazed by all of the great work that you and your team are putting out. So thank you so much. This time I wish we could have spent 4 hours chatting, but you shared so much information and I really appreciate your time and your wisdom today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.